After conducting their experiment with seeing who can melt a popsicle the fastest, students will now move on to the explore section of the investigation. Students will have a class conversation, on the terms irreversible changes and reversible changes. Upon doing so, they will discuss with their peers to make a prediction as to which they think each term means. They will record it on their worksheet under what I think it means columns. Students then will participate in a brief class discussion identifying the meaning of each term. The class will then come up with a class definition for each term, and the students will record this under class definition column for each term, reversible and irreversible changes. In groups, students will then be given materials to begin their investigation. Students will be given a cup of water, a bag of ice, a chocolate bar, a bar of hardened butter, a candle, and an egg. These 4 items will be placed at the student's desk, while these 2 items will be kept with the teacher, as they are more dangerous and require teacher assistance to perform the action. These items, each group will get their own. These 2, there will be one for the whole class. Students will then decide whether they will heat or cool the objects to change the state of matter. They would then decide to get it back to its original state. Will they try to heat it or cool it? They will record their findings in their chart on their piece of paper. On the chart, students will fill in the original state of matter for the material. They would just say whether it was heated or cooled. They will put the new state of matter, and then they will say whether the change is reversible or not. And if the change is reversible, they will know how we reversed it and whether it was by heating or cooling. After students have conducted that with the 4 items at their table, we will regroup as a whole class to investigate whether the candle and the egg are reversible changes. The candle will be lit by the teacher and be left lit until wax appears visible to the students. The egg will be fried on the griddle, and students will report their findings. The findings for the candle will not be recorded until the following day, as it needs time to cool the wax. On day 2 of our investigation, we will begin the explain section of our investigation. We will revisit the terms irreversible and reversible changes and work as a class to ensure that everyone has the correct findings on their reversible and irreversible changes fact sheet. We will discuss as a class if there are any differences and why they may be so. The teacher will then read aloud a book to the students from wax to crayon. The students will discuss the findings of the book and connect it to their investigation. Students will then work as a class to write a short explanatory story on reversible and irreversible changes in matter. It will be recorded on a poster of paper by the teachers as well as students who would like to help compose the piece.